So I'm going to end this by saying this here. As somebody that's getting into becoming a travel agent, as well as being a coach, as well as being a mental health practitioner, as well as getting into holistic products and creating holistic products and getting into becoming an herbalist, let me say this to y'all. You ain't going to please everybody. Everybody going to find something to complain about, no matter what. And in the end of that, my journey ain't yours. But here's the thing. Regardless of what cruise ship you go on, regardless of what vacation that you take, understand it's your journey, not everybody else's. You're not there for everybody else. You're there for yourself. When I went on Carnival, it was me, my homegirl, and her family to celebrate her sister's birthday and her son's birthday. And they did their own thing. I did mine. And yes, we did come together and do things together. But at the end of the day, when I was on, at Motown on the Carnival Sunrise, everybody was not dancing. They were sitting. There are people that were performing and people were just sitting. You're going to have that. So my thing is, y'all got to stop trying to make everybody else happy. If you post something, that's because it's your experience. But at the same time, you're showing people the boat. You're showing people the whole entire experience of what you're going to get. And yes, you will have people that are going to be standing there. When you go to the Bahamas, when you go to Jamaica, when you go to Anguilla, when you go to Argentina, regardless of where you go, you're going to have a culture shock. Because it's not the United States. So let me go ahead on and say this for what this is. I have seen people go to London and say they don't like their food. I have seen people go to multiple countries and say that they would rather go to McDonald's than actually try their actual food in their country. Then why did you go? Why did you go if you had no intentions on going because you want to have the full experience, including the food? They don't season the way we do. They don't cook the way we do. Most of these countries use actual real vegetables that they grind as seasoning. So they're going to taste different because they don't have artificial flavors and all the other stuff, GMOs and all this other stuff. So of course it is going to taste differently. It just is. It's just like when you go to somebody's house that makes potato salad, pasta salad, and to you it doesn't have any seasoning because all they use is salt and pepper, and that's all they use. Guess what? The majority of these countries, that's all they use is salt and pepper. They don't use all this other stuff. They use fresh onions, fresh garlic, fresh parsley, fresh rosemary. They don't use the ones in the pack. They don't use the ones that we have. Because we are about quick and fast. Versus those countries are not like that. Those countries are not fast paced. So they don't have to have something on the go. And when they do, they actually have time to sit there because they have, unlike us, a work-life balance. So again, you're going to go places and you're going to have somebody saying, oh, it's boring. Just like when you go to Bali. Bali is a spiritual place. When you go to Dubai, it's going to be different. If you go to Abu Dhabi, it's going to be different. If you go to Germany, if you go to France, if you go to Malaysia, regardless of where you go. If you go to the Maldives, it's going to be different. Because when you go to the Maldives, it is not a party type of vacation. It's a vacation. So you may not find a lot of places to party. You might go to Belize and go party and get robbed or get SA'd or get unalived. There are people that have been to Colombia that don't come back alive. And y'all talking about excitement. You got places that will they will rob you and pickpocket you like it ain't nothing. And you talking about excitement. I'm talking about going to Cabo St. Lucas on my birthday. Cabo St. Lucas. Or either what is it? What is it? Not Cancun. Punta Cana. You think that I'm gonna be going for the purpose of what y'all going for? I'm going for a vacation. I am going to relax. I am going to sleep. I am going to enjoy whatever it's going to be when I get there for 7 days. I am not thinking about automatically going and partying. I am going to enjoy the beach. I am going to enjoy sleeping in. I am going to enjoy the food. I am going to enjoy the culture. I'm going to enjoy the museums. And yes, I might actually enjoy whatever they got going on at that time. But whatever is going to happen in that. It's not always about ghetto, ratchet, ignorant, stupid, dumb versions of vacations. Because I'm not a ghetto, ratchet, ignorant, stupid, dumb individual. So when I go on vacation, whether it's personal or whether as a travel agency, it is not for the purpose of y'all. I'm going on the purpose of different people. I'm going to make sure everybody that is supposed to go on this particular vacation, this particular hotel, this particular island, whatever it is, who it's for. And it may not be for everybody. But if you somebody that want fun, then by all means, go on to Jamaica. And then get robbed. Then get SA'd and then get unalived and then tell me the same thing. I went to Montego Bay. You think I'm going to Montego Bay just to go to the club? Nope. I'm going to the waterfalls. I'm going to the beaches. I'm going to learn about the culture. I'm going on tours. I'm going to museums. I'm going to learn about art, shopping, and peace, and quiet, and tranquility. Enjoy the beaches. So sometimes it is not always about going because I want to go to the clubs. I can do that here. I can do that anywhere. If I go to the clubs, it's because I want the experience of comparing other countries and the way they party and then the way we do. So, yes, I can go to Carnival. I would love to go to Carnival in Trinidad. It's one of my goals. I want to go to Egypt. There's a lot of places I want to go. But sometimes it's not always about partying. It's about culture. And whatever going on in that country, I want to be able to learn how to be one with that country. Meaning I'm not going as an American. I'm going as someone that is trying to be a part of that culture while I'm there. So I get the full experience. So no, I'm not going to no American restaurants. Unless because of my allergies, I really cannot. Then I will absolutely not. But at the end of the day, I am going because I want people to see everything that country has to offer. That's why I probably bring somebody with me. Because if I don't do bungee jumping, hey, there's somebody else I know to do. But at least I can show you, even if I don't do it, the point is, this is everything that this country has to offer. These are all things that you get to do. And I may not do majority of it because it ain't what I personally do. But people get to see everything that country has to offer. So if you're a travel agent, it ain't always about you. It's about showing people everything that ship, that hotel, that motel, that resort, those inclusive, places, that's the country itself, what all of it has to offer. So it can't just be about you. It's about showing people everything that ship has to offer. Because if you want people to book with you, then you have to be honest. Not just about how beautiful it is, but also about safety, about what may or may not happen, not putting your drinks down, about thieves, about being careful about certain things. Because if you don't, and then something happens, that falls on you. So understand, my vacations are not just about me. It's about showing about what that ship or whatever it is about. So I don't know.